Greetings! Welcome back to Switch to Linux. Well, today we're going to talk about a variety of conferencing tools for video. And so I pulled on a panel here, and we're going to be looking at a variety of different ones. Our ultimate goal here is to eventually be able to run this stream without using Google Hangouts, because it may not be in existence forever. If not because of the threats to close it down, but because it's a Google product, and Google just likes to sacrifice its own products on the altar of its own success. And so we're just going to go ahead and just talk about different alternatives and things like that. So ultimately, we're just looking for video conferencing. We're going to not be super focused on privacy, because ultimately our final task is going to be made public on the internet anyway. So what difference does that make? But when we have the option, if we have the two good options, we'll go with the more private option versus the less private option. That's kind of what our goal is. So let us know in the comments if there is anything else you think we should be looking at. We have a panel of them pulled up already. And I'll ask some of you guys who are monitoring the comments there, let me know if somebody mentions something that we should throw onto our list to chat about. All right. I think I unmuted everybody. So greetings, everybody. How's it all going?
Hello.
Hi.
All right. We have audio. Sweet. I remembered. How's everybody doing today?
Feeling groovy.
I'm fine.
We got a groovy, we got a fine, and maybe Mark had those sandwiches delivered, so he may or may not be here. Oh, there he is. How's it going, Mark?
I'm good. I'm sorry. I'm helping a client in the middle. I'm trying to stay focused on both. Yeah, I'm doing great. I hope everybody else is doing good.
Very good.
We've got an interesting subject matter.
Yeah, video conferencing is popular right now for obvious reasons. Some of us would just hope that the entirety of video conferencing gets nuked so that we can all just go back and integrate back into society, because, every day that passes, the death rate of COVID drops lower and lower and lower, and pretty soon you'll have a greater chance of getting struck by lightning than anything else. I'm just watching. It's like I'm looking at what's going on in Pennsylvania right now going, yeah, all these massive numbers, like we've had like 2,000 cases of COVID added. Well, the company they're using here in Penn State primarily, they're not even doing COVID tests. They're doing antibody tests. Antibody tests are completely different from COVID tests. And antibody tests, if you get positive on an antibody test, it means you're generally immune to the disease. Yeah. Welcome to COVID land. All right. But anyway, video conferencing is a thing. And whether or not we are in COVID land or not, this supporters show will go on. You can be a participant in the supporter stream if you are a supporter to the channel's work. We are on thinklifemedia.com. We are on Patreon at TOMM, and Subscribestar at Switched to Linux. If you'd like to subscribe any of those places, that is where you can go to join in on the stream. And so let's go ahead and check in with the comments, and then we will get back to everybody. Moonbase Alpha Grays, take me to your leader, kind sir. Oh, or kind alien, I guess. Great Tomb, how's it going there? 6 minutes remaining, 5 minutes remaining, 4 minutes remaining, negative 5 minutes remaining. Bruce Scott, hello there. Jeffrey, greetings. Video conferencing, 3 cameras, mics every 2 to 3 feet, 2,400 chairs, 5 projection screens, 9 butlers, 2 buffets, TP, air conditioning, 12 guards, rifles, and BLM Biden members, plus 4 clocks. Interesting. Are you talking about the future 1984 dystopia? Zoom was surprisingly easy to install from their homepage on the Arch system. Yeah, Zoom is definitely there. And Tech Hut, how's it going there, my friend? How's it going? Guys, if you have not seen Tech Hut's channel, newer channel, I think he featured a video from us not too long ago as well, so check out his channel. Jeffrey Wolfster, how's it going there? USB camera, 4 mics, OBS. Okay, we're not talking about the equipment that you need. We are talking about the tools, the software that you need to run it. All right, guys. Anyone want to jump in with your favorite to start with, or any comments before we actually get into the subject matter?
I kind of use whatever the host is using as being a client user mostly. Mm-hmm. Zoom is pretty good, but between upgrades and stuff like that, there has been a lot of people complaining about not being able to get in and the equipment not working right, or some little knack like that. I found for me, when you get to the final stage where you go out of you get into the waiting room and it's the guy wants to transfer you in. The audio don't work well. Zoom tends to put the allow audio box behind something, so you have to hunt for it. You don't know that that's what's holding you up. That's the only problem I've had with the Zoom. All the other stuff like Hangouts, I use the Skype client. That's got a weird thing too. We can talk about later. StreamYard, all those little off website type things. I use Vivaldi strictly for those only because it's a Google based program and I kind of like it. And a lot of that stuff just does not work with Firefox.
Okay. Let's go focus in. We're going to focus on one at a time. We're not going to just list all the things you use. We're going to focus on one at a time as we go into these because we want to hit the pros and the cons. So we'll start with Zoom because that's what I've pulled up and that's what you kind of mentioned first. So what's your experience on Zoom? What are your pros? What are your cons? And would you recommend it? Dan?
Zoom, if you can get it opened and running out of the box, I can't really think of any really bad cons. The pros are you can have a ton of people. You can have, I think on the Windows side, you can have like plus 50 users. I know on Rocco's stream, Biddle, we've exceeded 25 easily. It's just that on the web browser, the person watching is using, you only get 25 on the web browser, and he's got to shuffle over to the next 25 so you can see them. It's got to be manually worked around.
Yeah.
But
I know we had used Zoom for the camp that I did the tech for over the summer, and we had some 30 or so people on there, and it works very well. I would say the downside of Zoom is it is kind of a privacy nightmare. That was really brought to the forefront when everybody started over-relying on Zoom. But if we want something that definitely works well, this is definitely a good one. So it is something we will keep in mind if we have to have an easy solution to run these shows. It may not be a bad thing. But I'm really leery about giving Zoom my actual personal information. That's my thoughts there.
With Zoom, when you log in and you're in the waiting room, it helps if you open the audio box and go to the audio section, and there's a slide bar for your volume. Underneath it, there's a box for auto adjust something or nothing. Make sure that box is not checked or your audio will be all over the place throughout your whole stream.
Yeah, for sure.
I have some thoughts on Zoom also.
Go ahead, Quentin.
Yeah. So I use Zoom for school, for remote learning I guess pretty much most of the semester last year and some this year.
I'm really sorry for you.
It wasn't terrible. The teacher could put us, although the classes, my school, the classes are very small anyways. We only have maybe about a max of like 12 students in each class. That's just how my school is because we're such a small school. So it wasn't terrible. The teacher would move us into different breakout rooms is what they're called, which is where they can just put different groups together. I never had any issues with it. Really just like what Tom said, I don't like the privacy stuff related to it. Other than that, I haven't had any other issues. The only thing related to Zoom that I've technically, this isn't really an issue, but the Linux client on Zoom, there's both a web browser version and there's actually a version you can download. I haven't used the web browser version, so I can't speak for it, but the Linux client that you download for Zoom doesn't have all the features that the Windows and Mac clients have. For example, you can't do the virtual backgrounds, and you can't do the reactions feature, which is like how you can do like a thumbs up emoji in the air, which we would occasionally use last year.
What I would say about Zoom, I've actually used Zoom a couple of times. It's pretty intuitive and easy to use. I love the interface, the user interface. If you need something that's very powerful and allows for granular control, and it even actually has some privacy things in there that they built into the latest revisions I've heard about. However, my only issue with Zoom is the privacy and security. They do not seem to be handling it as well as they probably should have. They have made some attempts to secure it a little more, but it's probably not enough. I'm very leery about using it. I know my niece and nephew have to. I think when they get into the next grades, they'll probably have to start using it if Finley isn't already.
Yeah, I think I use a flat pack on my Arch system for Zoom, which works. I've used the Deb package as well. There might be a snap for it as well. If anybody can confirm or deny if there's a snap.
There is an RPM. I can verify that for Fedora users.
Yeah, there's an RPM. Let me go down to Fedora. You can see if I go on the website here, if I select Fedora, it's going to give me the RPM. If I pick Ubuntu, it'll give me the Deb. There's I know there's a flat pack. There might be a snap for Zoom as well, although the website does not acknowledge either of those, and so that is a question. If the website does not acknowledge them, should we use them? I've made that argument before for snaps, so it should equally apply to flat packs. But the reason I like the flat pack is because flat packs containerize themselves from your system. So the Zoom client on my Arch system can only access certain folders. Go ahead, Dan.
Well, that's probably because you have to search the Flatpak or the Snap store directly to find it.
Well, what I mean by that is several organizations indicate that there is a Snap or a Flatpak. So like LibreOffice, if you go to hit their download page, it will tell you, hey, there's a Snap pack, there's a Flatpak, or a Snap, there's a Flatpak. It'll tell you those. And so when the organization acknowledges that the Snap or the Flatpak exists, I'm more confident in using it than if they do not seem to acknowledge they exist.
Well, with the Flatpak, they're gonna have to tell you which store that it is at, because there's more than one Flatpak store.
Yeah, well, FlatHub contains it, so which is your primary.
Well, there's a few others that popped up other than FlatHub.
Fedora has its own Flatpak store.
Yeah, see.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if it's in that one. I know my Arch is set up to use FlatHub. So, all right, any other discussion on Zoom?
Is it open source?
Zoom is not. No.
No, it's proprietary.
I just wanted to make sure. So, guys, it's not open source.
Another thing is Zoom is only free for like 45 minutes to an hour, and then it drops out.
Yeah, if we would use that on this channel, I would have to buy it. And that's kind of a downside, being that there's other options. So Nathaniel says that there is an official Zoom package on FlatHub. Thank you. Let's see, from laptop or smartphone, either one will work. All right. Let's talk about let's talk about Jami. Quint, you had some maybe not as positive things to say about Jami, right?
Yeah.
And I have not used Jami before, so you can come on over to their website at jami.net, jami.net. You can download it, Windows, Linux, Mac, iOS, Android, and it's at Android TV and probably other things as well. So anyway, go ahead and talk about it because I have no idea about it.
Jami is also on F-Droid, just so you know, too. It's on both the Play Store and F-Droid. So Jami is open source. It's part of the GNU project, and it's supposed to be like Skype. That's its main focus, is to be like Skype. However, I have never gotten it to work properly. When I tried to use it, I could start a video call. I think audio calls work perfectly. I never had an issue with an audio call or the text the chat functionality. Like sending messages and audio calls was fine. However, video calls did not work for me. With a video call, when I would end, it would show the video and everything. Like when you started, everything would go normal, but then it just would, when you click the end button, it would not hang up. Like the call would, it would end like on the, like if you were if you click the end button, the call would end on the person who, on like the receiving person's side, but it wouldn't end on your side. And the only way to quit the app or to make it end was just to force quit the app, like kill the process.
Okay.
Not really, just because it's not very stable. It tended to crash a lot too. Like I got it it would just crash randomly. It really wasn't stable.
And how long ago did you work with it?
It was about probably 4 months ago.
Okay.
Like 3 or 4 months ago, I looked at it. It really, I see the potential in it. I think it would be great if it became stable, but right now I really just can't recommend it because I had so many issues with it. And I was using the RPM package, like the official RPM package. So yeah, really.
Oh,
go ahead.
No, go ahead. I was going to change subject for a second.
I was just going to say, really, I don't recommend it right now. I really see the potential in it. Like, I think it would be great because it doesn't require it doesn't require you to install the software on your own server like Jitsi does. And I think it's completely peer-to-peer, like Signal. So I think it's a great platform. I just don't see, I see the potential in it, like I said, but it's just not ready right now.
Maybe what we do is we look and see how the development is going and see if there's anything moving along on it. That'd be good. That's pretty good. Mitch says that somebody cannot watch your YouTube videos without logging in. I know YouTube is going to start doing that, start age restricting videos. I don't know if that's happened or if there's a reason your videos aren't viewable, but Mark, you might want to look into that. Does anybody else have anything to say about Jami? Like I said, I don't know anything about it.
I've never used it.
Yeah, I've never used it, so Quint was the lead on that. We'll move on if you want to. That was good information.
We'll move on. What's the next one we want to do? Let's go ahead and get Skype out of the way because, yeah, it's Skype. Old classic. It was really good. Then Microsoft bought it. Then it became rainbows and unicorns, and it still works fairly well, although they're starting to push ads in it and crap like that. So I still use Skype for business stuff just because that's where clients are in web design, what I do, and but I rarely turn it on anymore. I really want to find an alternative means of having somebody reach out. So.
Didn't Skype start pushing Cortana in there?
They might have. I don't know for sure. I have not seen Cortana in it yet, but I have started to see the ads.
Oh my!
I opened Skype one time and I saw you're on your chats, where you would see your different contacts. I saw Cortana listed there.
You know what? Yeah, they kept on adding Cortana as a contact, and I kept on banning Cortana, and I'm not sure if Cortana is still there. I'm going to boot up Skype right now and see if it actually boots. So I'm using Skype as I'm either using it as, I don't know, it might be a flat pack is what I'm using it as, I think, over on Arch, if it boots. I've been having a lot of stability issues with Skype lately. Like, not really stability when it's running, but it will, it'll boot up, and then sometimes I have to click the button a few times, and then sometimes it'll hang and freeze on me. And then sometimes it just decides to sign itself out.
On that particular note, where you said they have tried to integrate Cortana with Skype, I know that recently I saw a Windows Weekly podcast with Paul Thurrott and Mary Jo on that I watch on Twitch. I'm crazy. Twit.com or Twit.tv. But anyway, that's Leo Laporte's company. But anyway, they said that specifically Windows left out. They made a change to their privacy policy. They are no longer recording or they're no longer letting you send your voice commands and maybe the inking and typing data along with that. They're no longer collecting that information with the telemetry diagnostics. Mm-hmm. So that was recent by Microsoft. So this may be a way for them to say, hey, it's okay to use Cortana now, and now you can integrate it into Skype and other apps. So they're kind of halfway listening. Let's also continue and not collect other data, Microsoft. It is very, very much of a put off, and that's why people switch to Linux. It's a big reason.
I remember that. I want to respond to a comment here. Jeffrey, age restriction on YouTube is not new. No, it is not new, but they have just released a new algorithm, and I'm not sure if they've released it yet or if they're just about to. I think it's about to, but they are releasing a bot that's going to go through and just start mass age restricting videos. That is a new development in YouTube, which we are all so looking forward to. Be exciting, huh? Let's see. And going back to Jami for a second, Sleepy Eyes Vince likes comfy jammies when it's cold, and I'm with you there. Dan, I think you've used Skype before as well. What are your thoughts on Skype?
It's been a little while. I used it with Toss for one of his streams. He seems to like it because he can put himself down on Miami Beach and look really cool. Mm-hmm. But the thing that I didn't like about it when we were using it is the individual people that were on the screen that were remote were in normal size boxes, where Skype just puts you in a little tiny box up in the corner and you can barely see yourself. That kind of irritated me. But really, I don't have really much more to say about it as a client user rather than a host user.
Yeah, it is definitely mature and stable. I mean, I can give Skype that. Although as soon as Microsoft got in there, it started going a little bit downhill. So I'm glad there's other alternatives coming up. Any other comments on Skype?
I can share my experience a little bit, which I don't have a ton of experience other than that it's just kind of annoying. I don't really use it that much. Zoom is the main thing that I've used. I think I used Skype one time to talk to you about something.
Yeah, I think we did once, yeah.
But yeah, it's just gotten really annoying with Microsoft.
It's been a long time since I used Skype, but it seems to have gotten a lot worse. Years ago, I used it a couple times, and it was very solid. It just seems like they're trying to dumb down the interface, and in recent years, and it's not as usable. I prefer fine granular control, but maybe not to a maximum, but a little bit of granular control goes a long way with me. I don't need a whole lot.
Yeah. As far as Linux use, they have dabs, RPMs, flat packs, probably snaps as well. So there is your options on that. Let's go ahead and talk about Telegram. I don't think any of us have any experience on this because it's kind of brand new. If you are using Telegram, they have a new blog post here, which seems to indicate that they are looking into adding video calls, and they are doing some face-to-face communication. There's an alpha version of video calls now available with Android and iOS. Again, I don't know if this is going to be useful for computer to computer, so it's not really valid for our part here. Never mind. That eggplant is a little too suggestive. Oh my Lord. That eggplant is too suggestive. Holy crap. Okay, Telegram. Enough said about Telegram. Anyone else want to mention anything about Telegram before we... I've
messed with it a little bit. I don't have a ton of experience with it. When I used it, video calls didn't exist. It was just chat.
And that's kind of what I'm stuck on now. Is I use it every single day with the Big Daddy Linux group and Destination Linux, but it's on a text basis. Some of the things I don't like about it is the giant GIF emojis you throw in there, and you're scrolling your text and trying to read it, and all of a sudden there's this guy doing a boogie woogie thing on, in a GIF file, and you just kind of gotta try and scroll past it or stop it. The pictures I can tolerate, but when things are dancing around when you're trying to read it. But I haven't experienced using any video portion of it yet, and neither did I know any of it existed.
Yeah, I mean, it's brand new alpha version stuff, so it's not even really ready for beta testing yet.
One of the other things about Telegram, this is something that I don't really like, going back to the privacy thing, is with Telegram, only the client is open source. The server is not open source. So you're going to their servers, which are proprietary.
Yeah, the reason I'm not using Telegram is because it seems to necessitate a phone number, and no.
Yeah, it requires a phone number.
Nope.
And if you're a distro hopper and stuff like that, you don't keep your home folder, you're going to have to poke Telegram to send you something on your telephone number to activate it.
One of the I understand why Signal uses a phone number, but since Telegram also uses a server, that doesn't make much sense why they would need your phone number.
Yeah, it was, I mean...
It's a handshaking thing that guarantees that it's you that's using it.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd rather create a password if it still connects to a server.
Well, yeah, and that was actually my concern with Signal when Signal started being like, hey, great news, guys, we're adding pins to secure your accounts and store your contact information on our servers. No. Like,
I don't really want... That's what... I understand why Telegram uses or not Signal, not Telegram, Signal. I understand why Signal uses the telephone number because that's how they, that's how it connects. I don't understand why Telegram needs a phone number.
Yeah, I'm with you there. And I believe the latest versions of Signal have actually made that cloud and pin part optional. When they first rolled out, like, this is a great idea, everybody. And it's like, no. And then,
I remember
like, everybody who is like using Signal because of its security is like, don't do that. I stopped using it. I mean, I'm not using Signal anymore.
When I used to when I would open the app, because that's how my grandfather talks to me. I'll get into that later, but that's how my grandfather and I do video calls. But every time I would open the app, I would get a prompt about creating a pin, and I was like, no, go away.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, I don't have Signal pulled up right now.
We can talk about Signal next.
Let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and do that. I'll pull up Signal.
I was just going to say about Telegram. I used to use the Telegram X app. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, we got you, Mark. Go ahead.
I used to use the Telegram app for a little while, and I actually tried to get some of my buddies to use it. It's really hard to get people to install a new app, but it was one of the better communication apps for, like, as far as text and chat goes. It was very straightforward, a good intuitive interface, and I would use Telegram X specifically because it had the like a dim theme. Are you familiar with Bitwarden's? They call it dim. Well, Twitter's got a dim one, and it's similar on Bitwarden. It's that type of theme. Bitwarden calls it ignored. It's like a midnight blue. It's not black. It's more blue than it is black. But it looks really nice, and it was really easy on the eyes because I did a dark theme with it. And it give you dark background and then white text, like a dark mode, but it was also blue. So yeah, but it was just really, really intuitive. I found it really nice to use.
Yeah, I think a downside of that, and of course, much like we're going to get to a Signal, is no computer video conferencing that I know of right now.
Yeah,
I just checked. Signal does not have computer video conferencing.
That's what I was pretty sure. Phone. Yeah.
So yeah, I can talk. Do you have Signal pulled up?
Yeah, we got Signal pulled up. Good.
Okay, so yes, I have experience with Signal, and I think I've actually had a pretty good experience with it, other than the whole pin thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, Signal's completely open source. It's completely peer-to-peer, so there's no Signal cloud server except for the pin
there
thing.
It is now.
But yeah, the whole model of Signal is that it's completely peer-to-peer. Which I use Signal to do video calls with people who have iPhones, since I have Android, so I can't do like FaceTime or anything. So that's how I talk to like family members, is through Signal. And I've had a pretty good experience with it. They've had a pretty good experience with it. The only issue that I had with the Signal app on Android was that there was no way for me to adjust the volume of the phone. Like the call was on speaker, which normally I'd have the call on speaker. There was no way to adjust the volume. But I ended up figuring out that was more of an Android problem than a Signal problem.
Okay.
Yeah, other than that, I've had a pretty good experience. The pin thing, like what Tom was saying, is a little annoying, and I don't like it because it's starting to store stuff on servers. But you can just dismiss it now. And I'm actually opening the app right now, and I don't get a prompt for it anymore. I think they finally got rid of it.
Yeah, I think the latest updates did.
But yeah, right here, if you go into your settings on Telegram or on Signal, you go to Settings, Advanced, there's a thing for pin. and you can turn it on or off. It doesn't prompt you anymore. But I like Signal. I think it's a good platform. It runs, if you have a FOSS phone, it's on F-Droid. Or I actually don't think it's on F-Droid, but you can download it off their website.
Okay.
I think you were the one who told me that. There's like that page you go to.
Yeah, you got to hunt for it. They really, 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 really want you to download Signal from the Google Play Store. But if you hunt long enough, you can find the APK source directly on their website.
There actually is. I found somewhere. There's somebody hosts an F-Droid repository that just has the Signal APKs in it, and they update them. They just download them from the web page, just upload them to their own F-Droid server, and then you can get updates and stuff through F-Droid.
Okay.
Yeah, that's one thing to consider.
The app for Signal is so aggressive at updating itself. I don't think you need it to go through F-Droid anyway. So
I just like to install stuff through F-Droid. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I should mention. Oh, the phone number thing. Like I was saying, Signal requires a phone number, but it's because it's peer-to-peer. That's how they actually verify you.
Yeah, I didn't mind the phone number in Signal. I just minded when they started syncing that to a cloud. That's what
I don't have the problem with the phone number in Signal either. And that's one of the downsides of it, though, is that the way you give like people your Signal is you give them your phone number. So if you don't want somebody to have your phone number, Signal is not really an option.
Yeah, with Telegram.
We'll mention this really quick, that the reason Signal wanted to go with the passcode type stuff is to implement a username base where they can become independent of the phone number. That's their ultimate goal. And transitioning to it's going to be more difficult. So that's kind of what's going on there.
On Signal, I'll say that it is one of the most secure messaging communication apps that there is out there. Like Quint said, I don't think it has video conferencing at this time. Maybe in the future they add that. Not real sure. I don't know if they have any plans to.
I did not see this video yet, but Rob Braxton Tech, who does a lot of really good, he knows way more about privacy stuff than I do. He actually just released a video today, even asking if Signal and other ones have security. I can't find it right now, but that'd be one to look at. It just came up just a couple hours ago, and I get a chance to look at it.
You can probably link that in the description.
If I can find it again. I don't see
Signal at this time really isn't for business video conferencing because you have to be on the app. The desktop only supports messages. So it's not really for business video conferencing, but for anything personal, I think Signal is great. Like that's how I video call with family, is I use Signal.
Agreed. It's very simple. That was basically the only other thing I was going to add. It's very simple to use.
Yeah, my grandfather has no problems using it.
Let's, in the interest of time, we're going to move on here. Let's do StreamYard next. StreamYard's
I wanted to say one quick thing.
Go very quick.
So Signal is second to privacy and security only to one app, and that is Wire. Check out Wire. It's really cool. Go ahead.
There's some issues with Wire, though, too, in some of the security world.
Interesting.
But anyway, so StreamYard. This is a popular one that's come up recently. So this is going to allow you to do not just video conferencing, but direct streaming as well. So kind of like the way you used to be able to go into YouTube and just, boom, click just to stream already. You can basically hook up your system to it. And it works decently well. You do have the nice big duck watermark, unless you pay them their fee, which is fair enough. I'm okay with that. And there's some extra features that you can do with the extra service fee as well. This one for me is one that I don't mind using it if somebody's conferencing with it, but it's not one I'm likely to start using just because I prefer using OBS in what I'm doing. I don't want to work with an entirely web-based system for my video streaming part. I'd rather use the software base on the computer. Overall, though, it works fairly well. It's pretty easy. It's a little bit more user-friendly than things like Jitsi or Nextcloud Talk or things like that, but it is A little bit less friendly than Zoom or Skype, things like that, but it works out just fine. A lot of settings, a lot of theming options you can see down there. So that's one there. So who has something to say about StreamYard's experiences, pros, cons?
I've never used it.
I've used it a few times along with Jitsi. To me, both of them are pretty much two of a kind. They're almost identical on the client end. Again, Toss has ran through all of these, and I've been on stream with him and a few other people with them. But, on the client side, there's not a big difference. It's whatever the host wants to throw on your screen. I mean, they're very simple to open. People send you a link, you copy the link and throw it in your Chrome-based browser, and boom, you're part of the crowd. I do think one of them has actually a limit of how many people you can have on it. Again, you have to pay extra if you want more. I can't remember which one it is.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't recall.
I'll be real quick with StreamYard, and I'll be in depth. StreamYard is a beautiful app. It is very simple to just pick up and go with a broadcast, or if you're on YouTube or what have you. It is very nice that it allows you to add in lower thirds and some ad space. Space to do your text and styling to kind of personalize your stream. Yeah. It even has a virtual green screen to it that you can add your own backgrounds and stuff. It's just, if you want something that's really nice and easy to use, get StreamYard. It is costly. That is the one downside to it. It's a
like
little costly.
$250 a year, I think.
But for what you pay, it really is probably worth it. I have heard the resolution is not much past 720p. So getting that 1080p, if you're upgrading your plan to do the 1080p, maybe you think otherwise, because it's not going to be full HD, and that's kind of understandable.
And I might have misspoke on this one. You would know the answer to this. Is when you're using StreamYard, can you download a standalone client application, or is everything done through the web browser?
I think it's done through the web browser. I haven't noticed an actual app. Has anyone else?
Yeah, I don't have any clients for either one of them.
I wasn't looking at the client. I was looking at the host service.
It is cloud-based.
All cloud-based through the browser. Okay.
So do you want to talk about Jitsi?
Anything else on StreamYard first? All right, Jitsi it is. All right. So Jitsi, this is one that I think that there's a public meeting one. I think it might be like Secure Meet or New Meet or something, but it's not compatible with my particular web browser here. I'm using an old version of WaterFox here. But Jitsi, you can host the server on your own platform. So if you are looking for something that is self-hosted solution, this one's probably this one and Nextcloud Talk are the two big ones I think that we're going to be looking at if that's your case. But yeah, go ahead, Quinn. I have only used Jitsi a couple of times in its very infancy, so I know very little about it. So go ahead, Quinn, take it away.
I've never actually been on a video call with it, but I've tested it a couple times. It seems very promising. There is a public Jitsi server. I think it's meet.jit.si or something like that. It's linked on their website. There's a thing on their website that says "See it in action."
See it in action. I think that might be the one that. Yeah, that's the one that's not compatible with my web browser here. Let me boot it up. I'll boot it up in my other web browser, and a web browser that actually is modern and functions.
Another thing about Jitsi, it tends to leave a watermark in the upper left corner of some goofy looking bird thing.
Yeah.
The watermarks don't really bug me.
Yeah, it depends on the context for me. So confirm it works on Firefox.
Jitsi is completely open source too. That's one of the other good things about it. I've never had issues with it, and it seems like it's modeling after Google Hangouts. That's what I feel like it's modeling after the most. It has Google Hangouts functionality, and I think it has a little bit more functionality. But I really I think Jitsi is great. I think that would be my recommendation, would be with Jitsi for
So maybe what we should do is we should spin up a Jitsi server for Switch to Linux and give that a try soon.
Yeah.
And then I can do a whole video about it at the same time. Maybe YouTube won't
There was actually somebody who, it's Crosstalk Solutions. He posted a video on how to set up a Jitsi server.
Yeah, I have very, very limited experience with Jitsi, but when I did use it, it worked very well. So that's it.
Yeah, I haven't used it for like 4 years, and it worked okay back then. So I can only imagine it's gotten much better now. I think Vince said at some point in time it'd be a lot better if there was a lot more people working on it. But
yeah, Jitsi is a lot. It's completely web-based. There's no like desktop client or anything. It's just like Google Hangouts.
Yeah, and on that front, let's go ahead and jump over to Nextcloud Talk, which is pretty much going to be about the same thing. There's pricing information here. So if you're actually running your own Nextcloud server, you can throw Talk in there, and then you can buy a server from them, or you can host your own Spreed server. And so that's what I do is, since I already have a Calibora server for my online LibreOffice documents, I just added a Spreed server to it. So
I've got to step away for just a moment. I have no experience with Nextcloud. Go ahead and continue on that one without me. I'll get you on the next one. I'll be right back.
All right. So it's going to be pretty much... it's going to be pretty much a like Jitsi. In fact, I believe they are all using the exact same instance here. So here's basically their basic. Yeah, I don't stop it. Okay, so if you come on over here, there is, let's see, do we actually have Talk set up? They had sent us to a Nextcloud demo that actually does not have Talk set up. Isn't that exciting? I thought I was going to test out. Hey, we're just testing out basic Nextcloud apparently. And they did not give us an admin version account, so I can't add it. Anyway, it's very much works just like Jitsi. It is web-based. There's been some issues we've had with it. So the problem I've had with Nextcloud Talk is if I have multiple cameras connected to the computer, sometimes it gets confused. And if it gets confused, I cannot fix the cameras without ending the call. And so I have not tested the new version in about over a year now. And so what I need to do is run updates on my full server, then run updates on the Nextcloud server, then run updates on the Talk and Spreed servers, and then we'll test it. That's something I would not have to mess with because I already have it implemented. It just needs tested. So that's an option for us as well.
So yeah, I really like Nextcloud. I've never actually used Nextcloud Talk. My Nextcloud server isn't powerful enough to run stuff like that. I have a very basic Nextcloud server just to host my files. And so I've never had any experience with it. It looks promising, like Jitsi. The thing that I actually like, I think I like Nextcloud Talk a little bit better for a business call, because the thing with Jitsi is that it's all kind of open. Like if you host your own Jitsi server, it's all like open, like anyone can just log in and create a link. But I think there's a way to like add a passcode to it, but it's not like Nextcloud where you can have like different user authentication and things. So I think Nextcloud Talk would be great for business, especially if the business already uses other Nextcloud apps.
Yeah, some of the great advantage of Nextcloud Talk is that I can create a channel that's only available to the logged in participants in the network, in the organization. So if you're logged into your own Nextcloud server, then you can access it. But I can also create a separate one that's publicly available, or just send a link. So we can set up a video conferencing call system through it that has an internal and an external at the same time.
Yeah, with Jitsi, everything is public, except there's a way to like add a password. But other than that, everything is public. And that's one of the downsides to it.
Yeah, I guess that would be a problem. Anything else on Nextcloud Talk? Dan, any comments on any of these or not?
I don't do clouds.
All right.
I've never used it.
It's raining over there in Michigan. All right, let's hit Discord.
Oh, come on, man. It's been sunny here for 2.5 weeks without a drop of rain.
That's been the way it is everywhere, you know.
It's pouring.
There hasn't been a drop of rain in California either. It's just not exactly sunny. At least you can't see
the
smoke, you know.
I'm down with the cloud.
It rained here a little bit.
Yeah.
It was pouring this
You can still go swimming here.
Yeah, there you go. All right. So Discord, they started adding the video chats and things like that. This is actually becoming a system that works fairly well as well. So this is an option for some people. Like I'm working on a show with my brother, and we are probably leaning right now towards using Discord for the video conferencing, unless I get something better set up, because I'd rather not. Honestly, but it does work fairly well. It doesn't have quite as much capability as far as how you set up your angles and things like that, but it does work fairly well.
Homie don't like Discord.
I can talk about Discord a little bit too, since I've used it.
Yeah, go ahead.
It works well. I've done video calls with people on it. It doesn't have as much features as something like something like Zoom or Nextcloud or Jitsi, but I think that's really to be expected because it's not really meant to be a business video call platform. I think it's probably fine. The main issue is the privacy stuff. And
yeah, Discord is not necessarily good for privacy. It's not a good privacy.
Discord is proprietary stuff, and I don't know if they've actually fixed some of the bugs, but for the longest time, I used to use it every night. And in order to use it, I had to modify all my a lot of my Pulse audio files are halfway, about half an hour into the night. I start getting this really bad screeching noise in the audio. I mean, I'm not too fond of it, really. I think it's not put together in a proper manner.
I'll be nice to PC and say I don't care for Discord. I've tried to use it before. It makes no sense. It's dumb. The interface is dumbed down. I can't work it. I'm just too much of a boomer.
Yeah, not only that. When you're logged in on
Discord, hiccup on YouTube, we like dropped viewer counts into almost nothing.
I got 32 watching at least.
I'm showing 14 concurrent right now. But YouTube's been doing weird stuff lately.
Yeah, they have.
We're back up to 36. Greetings, everybody came back. All right. I'm sorry. I think I interrupted somebody.
So,
go ahead.
Go ahead, Dan.
I forgot what I was going to say.
Yeah. So what I was saying is that the thing about Discord is I know a lot of people who think, well, Discord has their paid Nitro thing. That means that they're making money. No, that's not the case. Discord doesn't have enough Nitro subscribers to make money off of just that. They're selling user data.
I know what I was going to say. When you log on to Discord, not only does everybody in your channel see that you're logged on, every other channel that's in your channel queue also sees that you're logged on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can. So I believe you can turn that.
So if you got like a bunch of, if you got like 20 other channels that you also subscribe to that belong to friends and groups and stuff like that, the minute you log in and pop on, now they can see that you're popped on all of them.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I
don't care for that.
Discord is a privacy nightmare. I think even worse than Zoom, in my opinion.
Yeah, I run the Flatpak, which keeps itself fairly isolated from the system.
I just have a ICE web app that just goes to the Discord website.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that'll do it. So there's that. And the last one I have is one I did not even know it existed. Somebody asked me about it yesterday. And so I said, well, I'll look at it and see what happens. This is called Element. All-in-one secure chat app for teams, friends, and organizations. Keeps conversation in your control, safe from data mining and ads. Talk to everyone through open global matrix network. So it's apparently based on Matrix. So protected by proper end-to-end encryption, web, Android, iOS, Mac OS, Windows, and Linux. Anybody have any experience with this or can tell me anything about it?
Never heard of it.
Never heard of it.
So we all need to look around. There we got, hold on, we got a free forever, we got a standard, we got a pro.
If we have a bit more time, one of the other ones is Wire.
Okay, we'll go ahead and pull that up. So, yeah, I guess what I might need to do is poke around with Element, see what it is. I don't know if anybody in the chat has anything about Element either. Let's go ahead and pull up Wire. Maybe someone will say something about Wire that we can come.
I tested Wire like once. I didn't have any issues with it, but I really just tested it. I think it's the same thing as Telegram, where the client is open source, but the server is not.
Sleepy says Element is the old Riot
Matrix client. Okay. Oh, this browser is not supported. So I'm not going to be able to pull up the website for you guys, but it's app.wire.com.
I was just going to say Wire is very, very secure and private. I know they may have had some issues here prior that Tom mentioned. I really like Wire. It's really simple and really easy to use. It's got enough granular control in it. Wire is a really good fit for me. It's kind of like reminds me of like an Apple version of like this type of app. It's something like Apple would do, kind of in the way that it's intuitive and it's got granular control, but not too much. It's not confusing. It's just really simple and easy to use. It's very secure. So that's my go-to for business communications, preferably. However, people will not install it. I think it requires that the receiving user also has it installed. I'm not positive on that, but I believe that's the case, or it was.
I think that is. So yeah, there's our run-of-the-mill list. I guess maybe what we'll try and do is in the next couple of weeks, we'll try Nextcloud and or Jitsi and see if one of those two will work to replace Google Hangouts on these. And then we'll kind of give that a test and see how that works. But with that, anybody else have anything else you would like to say about the any of the video conferencing tools that we have?
We didn't.
Okay. Go ahead, Mark.
XSplit is another good one. It's proprietary. I'll just say real quick, it's a lot cheaper than Wirecast. It's really good for streaming, and it's online. It's XSplit Broadcaster. I believe it's for Windows and Mac, though. If I'm not mistaken, they may have a Linux copy, so that one may not even qualify if it's not for Linux, typically, because this is switched to Linux. We want you to use Linux where possible, but if you can't use Linux for whatever reason and you're on Windows or Mac, XSplit is really user-friendly. It's very, very pretty. It's a very pretty application. It's a little bit less intuitive. I say it's user-friendly. I'd have to say it's a little less user-friendly than some of the others, but it's still very usable. So there you go.
Jeffrey says the winner equals StreamYard. I don't know, man. That's one that I will probably use last.
I personally think that we should either go with Jitsi or Nextcloud Talk, and I'm kind of leaning a little bit more towards Nextcloud Talk just because of Jitsi being public.
Yeah, all right. Well, maybe sometime this week you're willing to help me test it out.
XSplit is excellent for Let's Players if you do video games and stream. Check out XSplit.
For which one?
XSplit is great for Let's Players video games.
Okay. All right. Dan, any other final thoughts on your end?
Well, being more of a guest than a host, all of them got one or two things that are going to bug you a little bit, but they work. I haven't had any trouble, as far as getting on and getting in and stuff like that. If you're going to use Jitsi or StreamYard, one of them has a return video quality problem where it doesn't return the video back to the web browser in good quality, but it will to the conference group. And that could be just a OBS thing.
Yeah.
It would have been nice if we had some other YouTubers log in too with us and see what they use and how they use it and how it works with OBS and stuff.
Tech Hut, if you're still here, that sounds like something down your alley.
Yeah. What did you say? Tech haberdashery?
No, Tech Hut. Tech Hut does a lot of comparing and working with a number of different people on a variety of different things. In fact, it was his video that I was in where I talked about LibreOffice and Sigil for writing books. He had another guy in there that does a lot of things with audio, AV type stuff, and he's actually one that showed me how to swap out the audio tracks in videos. I did a video on not too long ago, so that's a really cool stuff there.
Let me check if XSplit has a Linux client. I think it might.
Okay. Yeah, I know most of you other guys use these tools to communicate with your families and everything else, but it's a whole new ball game when you got to connect it to OBS and put on a show.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. I think, of course, I will be streaming on my other show here in about 1 hour. That is a Christian show. So if you like that type of stuff, jump on over and join us. If you don't, then go ahead and skip that one. You probably won't find anything there. If you're curious, go ahead and jump on over there. We'll be talking about false teachers and deceptions from 2 Peter chapter 2. But we will be back tomorrow on this channel at 9:00 p.m. with the weekly new roundup, and we'll go ahead and end this one here. I am going to throw in, if I can find Tech Hut's channel. I'm going to drop Tech Hut's channel in there as well. He needs more subscribers. He does a lot of cool stuff.
It has a browser extension for Chrome, I believe. Sadly, may have one for Firefox too.
Yeah, there you go. There's Tech Hut's channel there as well. All right. So with that, I think we will go ahead and wrap this one up, and we will see you guys next time, or in 1 hour on the other channel if you are inclined to jump on over there.
I'll be there.
All right, guys. Let's wrap this one up, and we will see you guys next time.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everybody. Thanks for showing out.